like I'm feeling like no shortage of anything except for toilet paper. But
I work at Trader Joe's, and when the pandemic first hit and everyone was panic buying, we didn't have meat for a few days. And so I was like, don't worry, like we have all these really great meat alternatives, and people were trying things that they had never tried before because they'd never needed to. So once it affects you personally, you're gonna make a different decision. But if you've always lived your life eating meat and there's no reason for you personally to not eat meat, I don't feel like you need to make a change.
the hardest thing when you're changing your diet is that you have to change like the whole bacteria of your system. So initially you're craving the foods you're used to and stuff, but the longer you go without them, the less you crave them and the better that you actually feel, the more energy that you feel. I was always addicted to cheese. I used to love cheese. So that was one of the hardest things for me to give up. But there's so many alternatives. Like now I make cheese from cashew nuts. They're soaked overnight, grounded up and added with flavor. I also make cheese from oats, which is actually probably more sustainable.
I could only cook with stuff that I could find at the grocery store or the co-op, whatever. And one of the most readily available sources of that was vital wheat gluten, which is a high-protein flour. It's used to make what's called seitan, which is, it's like mock duck if you go to a Chinese restaurant. You ever see that on the menu? That's a very basic version of it. And what I found is that you can take the very basic recipe of the vital wheat gluten, soy sauce, and water, and you could add different things like apple juice, different blends of vinegars to manipulate the texture. And I really sort of fell in love with the creative process of, just messing around with different ingredients and things, which, it allowed me to create anything from, the smoky house rib to a porterhouse steak. Just when I first went vegan, I was just eating, smoothies and salads and stuff like that. And I knew it couldn't last for me because I grew up eating a lot of meat. My dad and I would travel around the country looking for the best burgers, ribs, everywhere we go. And this was sort of an experiment for me to see if I could fool myself into eating more plant-based protein. I saw in myself the health benefits that I got from eating more plant-based in my life, and I really wanted to share that with other people. But before I went to Bible college, I wanted to be a doctor because I just wanted to help people somehow. And I thought if I could make plant-based protein, taste and feel good enough, then maybe I can help people feel a little better. And when we started at the farmer's market, I kind of got multiplied week by week because I would always hand out samples to people, and I would see people, like this one guy I'll never forget. He was tearing up a little bit because he said, after he had a heart attack, his doctor told him that he probably can't eat meat again, and he was so excited to have like an actual smoked piece of meat that he lost it.
I think it will, and I think there is a silver lining in all of this, and a huge opportunity for us to think about what went wrong and how we ended up in this mess.